welcome back to the Coach Dave Academy YouTube channel. Today I'll be doing a hot lap in the iRacing Formula iR-04 around Red Bull Ring. First, here's the hot lap. Okay, so starting our lap here at Red Bull Ring. We got probably the hardest corner of the track, in my opinion, coming out first, which is the first corner. It's kind of a medium speed, 90 left, uphill. Very difficult corner because you've got, I feel like, a place where you need to carry a lot of speed, but also get a very good exit, and it's a long uphill run as well after this corner, so super important corner. First of all, in terms of the track limits on the entry, as long as we have our right-hand tyres, you can see here, just on the edge of the white line. If you go any further left than this, you will get an off-track. Getting the car over the curb early, it's a common thing here. You see people going over really late and then not having the car straight for braking, so get over this curb early. And braking down to fourth gear. And generally, reference here is, you can see just before this 50 board on the left-hand side. And you want to be just about clipping this right curb, and the yellow curb is just on the edge of that. If you hit any more than that, it will kind of bounce the car and hurt your exit, so you need to be a bit cautious there. But at the same time, if you miss the curb, I do find it understeers a bit, and that'll also hurt your exit as well, and you'll end up probably getting off track on the left-hand side. So you can see I rolled quite a lot of speed. Here, and I think the best way to kind of sum up what's really important about this corner is that, you know, we're having a really hard brake, and then we're getting off fairly quickly and not holding the brake too long, and that'll kind of drag us wide or overslow the car or unsettle the car. Get off the brake fairly quickly in fourth gear, which, again, I think a lot of people try to take in third. It's definitely better in fourth. And then have a really quick throttle pickup. So you can see I'm full throttle by the time you reach this curb. And in this car, that'll really help settle it. So making sure we've done all that rotation early on the corner, hit the curb, and then full throttle. And as long as you have your right tyres still on the red and white curb, you won't get an off track here. And you lose a little bit of time riding this yellow curb, but it's definitely a lot better to use the sausage curb, just in terms of the, you know, how much earlier that lets you get on the throttle than not running at all. So up the hill now, we've got quite a long run before the second corner. Just driving in a straight line, not scrubbing the wheel, reducing the distance. And then when the white line on the left comes up, just slowly kind of turning in with this. Now, again, similar to turn one, very important, we're using all the track that we can here. So again, right wheel's on the white line and getting over early so the car is straight. We're not moving across different parts of the curb as we're braking. Braking is about 70 meters from the corner, between the 50 and the 100 board, and quite a tricky corner here. Second gear, and very common, very easy to do is you'll brake a bit early because it's uphill. The car stops really fast. You'll slow the car down too early. You'll turn in. Maybe you'll turn out, trying to avoid the sausage curb on the inside, or you hit the sausage curb, and you get on the throttle too early, and then you have to kind of lift out on the exit here. Because of the steep incline, if you get on the throttle really early, it just spins the inside wheel. So it's important that we're braking late into the corner and we're forcing ourselves to have this wide approach and have the car, you can see, pointing up the hill further around the corner once we've turned in and reached the apex, and we're not already turned in, like at this point in the corner. So just really important there that we're pushing the braking. And it's okay to turn in a bit late here. It's okay. I'd rather you turn in a bit late than a bit early. Pushing the braking, so we're turning in a bit late, and then we can have a really positive and quick throttle pickup. You can even see there's a little bit of wheel spin there just as the car's coming out of the corner. So if you get on it throttle any earlier than that, you don't gain anything on the straight. In fact, you'll probably lose. So it's just much better to always try and push the braking a little bit more here so that we get a clean exit. We can get to full throttle. Right, on the exit, again, you can actually get away with running over this sausage curb more, because as long as you have your right wheels on the red and white, you shouldn't get off track. But I find it's not faster. You just kind of want to rest your left wheels on the yellow sausage curb. And then again, moving to the right-hand side of the track, just reducing the distance, and then going in a straight line, not scrubbing the wheel. And then for this corner, I like to try and just make sure, again, that we're really straight. We had our right tyres on the white line, using all the track. I just like to brake on the slightly earlier side because for the first time on the lap, we have this really steep downhill braking zone, and the rear can get quite unsettled if you're not super straight. So it's also really important here to be directly straight, even in a light car like this. Your braking reference is kind of just after this 100 board. You should be hitting the brake any later than that, and you can make the corner, but the car's kicking out in the rear end, and it's quite tricky to carry the speed. Then, as you'll see here, even though it's a hairpin corner, you can turn in quite early, and it's really important because this curb really hooks you around, and it'll allow you to get a good exit, get on the throttle early, and carry lots of speed. So that's why it's quite easy, combined with the downhill braking, to overshoot this corner. So down to third gear, turn in early, make sure you get the right wheels hooked onto this curb. Once you're hooked onto the curb, you should be able to get on the throttle straight away. Just run the car out to the exit. You can't get off track unless you run the gravel. So pretty easy there. Now up to this quick left-hander. Main difficulty here is that it's blind. Again, making sure we're using all the track we can. Left wheels on the white line. Some people turn in, I think, too early here, too aggressively while they're braking, and it kind of unsettles the car. Better to just be, you can see at this point I'm still pointing out, and the front of the car is actually facing this leftmost cone. But you don't really want to reach the inside of this corner until around here somewhere. So making sure we're really looking around the apex and we're not trying to apex the corner right at the start of the curbing. If you've done that, you haven't carried enough speed, and what will happen is you'll probably pick up the throttle really early, and then you'll have to lift out or you'll understeer off or something like that. So important that we're not only braking fairly late, but that we're not braking. You can see I don't brake for very long. It's quite a short, sharp brake to help the car turn in, down to fourth gear, quickly off, carry the speed so that we're wide enough. And then just as we kind of are reaching the inside of the corner, reaching the white line on the inside, then we can pick up the throttle. And that'll nicely kind of drift us out to the right-hand side of the track here. You won't get an off track using all the runoff here, so go up to the gravel. And then we've got another quick left-hander coming up. And here, you won't get an off track for being in this runoff area. So I think a lot of people kind of reset and try and go left of the white line. Just you can run straight after this runoff area on the previous corner and just kind of stay in this service road or cut through. And then just this corner's, again, a tricky one. I think it's more important to have a good exit here than the previous left-hander, but also important that we're carrying a lot of speed, just because low-powered car, high-speed corner, it's always going to help us on the exit as well. So turning in here and just clipping the inside curb will help turn the car. And again, it's really important. I think the main trap for this corner is braking too early, turning in too early, throttle too early, and having to lift out and be being too kind of on the edge of this gravel trap, and you see I almost was on this lap. It's important to really, push late on the entry, turn late, just a soft little brake to help turn the car. And then that will really help your exit and help you carry the speed and open up the corner in general. So into the final 2 corners. Again, positioning on the left-hand side. Our right wheels will be on the white line. Braking is just at this 50-meter board, roughly, just before. Well, it's really, I'd say the most important thing on the entry here is making sure we're looking at this curb and we're looking to get our right wheels onto the curb, and it will help turn the car. It won't really spin the car at all. It just kind of helps turn it. Even in real life, single-seaters like to take this curb. And even though it's a high-speed corner, you can have quite an aggressive throttle pickup here. And you can be quite aggressive on this curve as well. So making sure we're hitting this inside apex in 5th gear. I think some people again will try to take it in 4th. Much better to leave it in 5th, I find. It helps you carry the speed and momentum, and just making sure we're braking enough and braking early enough that we allow the car to rotate. Getting over the curb, which again will help the car turn as we get on the throttle. And then pushing the car out to the edge of the green. If you go any further than this, I would say, where you can see the right wheels on the kind of secondary curbing here. Any further left than this and you will get an off track. So really easy place to get an off track, really easy. But also I think a lot of people don't realize you can actually push the track limits this much without getting off track. So important to keep that in mind as well. And then into the last corner here, staying straight, not turning right, staying and making sure we're using all this entry road. You won't get an off track for using this bit up to the grass here. So as long as you don't go any further wide than where we are here, you won't get an off track. And quite a tricky last corner, just throwing the car in, downshifting into 4th gear. Quite a soft brake. I think it's a corner where you're going to want to kind of really attack the entry and get sucked into, again, carrying all the speed. And because it's downhill, I feel like the apex comes at you faster than you think. So really important here that we actually brake, see, a little bit on the early side. We're still quite far away from what is quite a fast corner. Making sure we're preparing the car quite early from the wide entry point. But the main thing is we carry a lot of speed, and then we have a really early and really quick throttle pickup. Yeah, like a switch. You can see how quick that is from me there. I'm still on the brakes a little bit, just trying to help turn the car in a bit on the entry. And then as soon as we get to throttle, bang, straight on. Using as much curb here as we can. And this is a huge exit. So that's why it's really important that we are carrying. It's a corner where the more speed you can carry in while still getting to this entry curb, the faster it'll be. So don't get sucked into braking late here. If you want to go faster, try and carry a little bit more speed and get that really fast throttle pickup. And let the car run out. And you can kind of run up to the edge of the red. If you run both of your left tires onto the red, you will get an off track here, and a bit wider you can get a penalty as well. So just keep that in mind. Then bringing the car back, avoiding the grass, and then finishing up on your runs to the line. And that is a lap at the Red Bull Ring. Thanks for watching this Coach Dev Academy Hot Lap video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and check out the Coach Dev Academy YouTube channel for more similar content. We do lots of different cars, and you'll be seeing my weekly videos on the F4 as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.